My name is Femi Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of Sourcing Business. Sourcing Business is an online platform where freelancers and employers of labor are able to connect in order to exchange value. The platform gives freelancers opportunity to be able to create their gigs, showcasing what they can offer to organizations, the solutions they can provide, and especially services they can offer, virtually. Startups are actually looking for skilled professionals like these who are able to help them deliver their job, cheaper, who are able to help them deliver their job faster, and who are able to help them deliver their job with better quality. And these are the capabilities that you found in Freelancers. And so Sourcing Business provide a platform where such people are able to offer their gigs so that startups and small business owners around the world can be able to access them to be able to buy their services. On Sourcing
Hi, good morning, and welcome to Upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. I hope you're doing good. It's great to have you here this Wednesday morning. How are you doing? It's been a wonderful Wednesday morning. My name is Oge Mark, and of course, this is powered by Source in Business. So we'll talk about freelancing, the freelancing market in Africa, how Africans can harness the market and be top of mind when it comes to employers around the world. All right. Okay, so today we'll be talking about content creation, or being a content creator, creative content creator. And we have someone already in the studio who will be talking to us and giving us some real life examples on how to go about the career as a content creator. Now, if this is the first time of joining us, welcome. We do this every Wednesday. Now, I need you to do something for me. I need you to share the link wherever you're watching from. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're also live on LinkedIn. So I need you to share the link wherever you're watching. Post the link on your WhatsApp status, on your Facebook status, your friends and those who want to know and take advantage of freelancing can join. Now, here on Source in Business, we have two arms basically. The first arm is a training arm, which obviously teaches, trains prospective freelancers for free. Now, if you're looking to upskill, if you're looking to unlearn some things you've learned, or upskill and learn a new skill if you have no skill whatsoever, then Source in Business is the place to be. Now, here there are about more than nine pathways where you can learn whatever skill that you want, or upscale. Maybe you know basics, but you just want to learn some more so that you can be much more attractive to an employer. Now, when you have done that, you can come on Source in Business. The training is for free. You have access to mentors, you have access to tutors, you have access to mentorship. They can mentor you and make you avoid the pitfalls that can happen to you when you're just starting a career. Now, once you have decided on the skill you want to learn, or the skill you want to you build your career on, you come on Source in Business, learn the skill. Once you're done learning the skill, there's another arm of Source in Business where we outsource skills. Now, employers are on Source in Business and they are looking for people like you. They're looking for content marketers, data analysts. They're looking for all types of people with your skill set. They're looking for you, and of course the pay is so favorable. Now, if you already have your skill, you learned it somewhere, you're an expert somewhere, and you're looking for ways to attract employers, you're looking for ways to make yourself more attractive and to put yourself out there so that those who are in need of your skill can contact you. Source in Business is the platform, because Source in Business is an outsourcing platform where it connects employers and freelancers, and so they can do business together. So if that's what you're interested in, then you want to go on Source in Business, upload your gig, and then you can have access to those who want to make use of your skill. Okay. Now, it's a wonderful Wednesday. Now we have Adedoyin Oluyemi. She is a content creator. All right. Hello, at Oluyemi. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi, Uge. How are you this morning?
Hi. I'm great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great as well.
Okay, so I just said that you're a content creator, but I would like, for our audience to hear from you exactly, basically just introduce yourself. Let us meet you, let us know what you do, what your specialties are, and the likes.
All right. So, hi everyone. Everybody online. I hope that you can see me and hear me just okay. All right. Thank you very much. I am Adedoyin Oluyemi. I am I am Adedoyin Oluyemi, the lady who loves to dare. I'm a content writer and a brand influencer. I help brands write and tell their stories in a creative and unique way, in that it boosts their
Okay.
awareness, their visibility, and credibility. Yeah. So that's me.
Okay. All right, so that's great. So she said she's a brand influencer, she's a content creator, content writer, and so on. Now, before we go into the questions we got lined up for today, I want to quickly welcome those who've joined us today. Fabian, thank you for joining us. Janice, thank you. Mohammed, Chinelo, I see you. Daniel, I see you. Grace, I see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Festus, thank you for joining us. Now, please go ahead and drop your questions if you have any questions. We'll be asking our guests today whatever questions you've got lined up. And also, I need you to drop the link and share the link on to your contacts. They need to know exactly what's going on here. Everything here we'll do here is absolutely free, so there's no need for you to hoard any information. The sky is big enough for everyone to fly. Yes, the sky is big enough for everyone to fly. All right, so let's go on into what is creative content. Who is a creative content creator? First of all, let's start with that.
Okay. Who is a content creator? Who is a creative content creator? Okay, when we are talking about content creation, content creator, we are talking about creativity, right? So a content creator is a creative individual who come up with educative, entertaining, inspirational, and informative materials
Okay.
to be projected on medium or channels. So that's a
Okay.
content creator. Yeah, a content creator is a creative
Okay.
person who comes up with, you know, diverse materials to be projected, sorry, on different channels. That's a content creator.
Okay. Okay, and that leads me to my next question. Then, what is creative? What is a creative content? What are the features and things that qualify something as a creative content?
Okay. So first, a creative content is sorry, creative content is different means that we promote brand, right, out there. Is it can be a personal brand or a corporate brand. So a creative content can either be a social media post, a blog post, an article, an ebook, slides, and what have you. And what qualifies it as a creative content? Okay, I usually call it the two I's and the two E's. That is
Okay.
two I's and two E's. So it must inspire, it must inform, educate,
Okay.
or entertain.
Okay. Okay. So, but we see people on social media in this time and age, and they say everything is content. They say everything is content, and they post things that are cringeworthy, that are not entertaining, not informative, not educative. It's just cringeworthy. It's just for the sake of posting. Then and they call themselves, you know, creative content creators. So what do we call that? What do we call a content that does not have these two I's and two E's? What do we call that?
Okay. So, of course, like you just said, you see so many things on social media these days. Well, to you, you feel like, okay, what is this? What exactly is this? But to them, right, they feel like they are passing a particular message across. And you see, the social media is so funny that, these things that you feel like, okay, what is actually this? It attracts people to them. Some people just want to be controversial so that it attracts people to them, and that is what they want to. And to you is, you'll be like, what? Or they are achieving what they actually want, because it is that controversy that is bringing people to come and click. Who is this person? They will click their page and all of that. So now the thing is, so many people want to be known, so many people want to be popular, but then it's now what matter. It now boils down to, what do you want to be known for? So I think that's where we have to draw the line, right? Some people, they don't care whatever it is they are known for, they just want to be out
Okay.
there. So they put up controversial stuff. And trust me, sometimes they get their results because people actually follow those kind of people. So it's so funny.
Okay. Now, for someone who doesn't, have any followers, no social media presence, no nothing at all, and the person wants to be a creative content creator, what are the things they need to put into consideration? How are they supposed to start? What can they do to be a content creator?
Okay. Thank you for that question. If there is anybody who is, the person is not on social media, the person doesn't know anything about content creation at all, I think the first thing that person needs to do is to identify which particular social media platform do they want to use in projecting themselves. So after choosing that particular
Okay.
social media platform that you want, is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Or is it YouTube? So after choosing which one you want to, which platform you want to project yourself, then the person should go ahead and learn about that platform first. After learning about that platform, then you know what kind of content thrives on that particular platform. So I think the first thing the person needs to know is
Okay.
identify which platform do I want to, start creating content on. Then after that, you learn about that platform. It might not be very, very deep
Okay.
things, maybe the basic things, then you learn as you go. But then you need to know some basic things about the platform. Then you be able to know what kind of content thrives on this particular platform, and then you know how best to serve your audience.
Okay. All right. So now we've got that out of the way. We find establishments and companies and businesses want to put themselves out there, and so they would always employ the service of a creative content creator. Now, the question now is, for someone who's a creative content creator, how do you implement and create a strategy, a content strategy, so that the business, your
Okay. Hey,
employer,
sorry.
gets value for money, and then the audience and the people you're reaching out to are able to receive the messages you're sending out? So, what is the strategy like for a content? How do you do that?
Okay. First, let me tell you, okay, let me just explain what content strategy is for those that
Okay.
don't really know, right? So content strategy is like the roadmap that plans out all the steps that you want to take in reaching your goals. Like the roadmap
Okay.
that plans out all the steps that you want to take in reaching your goals. So now, if you want to come up with this content strategy, right, you need to understand, okay, okay, let me talk from the perspective of a content strategy that was employed for another person. Now, like you just said, say a particular company wants someone else who is not, like, is not your company, right, and you want to come up with a strategy for that company. First, you need to understand their brand's goal. You need to understand. Sorry, give me a
Okay.
few seconds.
Okay, so our guest will be here back with us very soon. So if you have any question, you feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. We'll respond to them as soon as possible. Okay. Okay. Yeah, she's back. Please go
All
ahead.
right. Sorry about that. Okay, so the first thing, like I said, is the brand goal. You need to understand, even if it is your own brand, you need to sit down, map out, okay, what are the goals I want to achieve with my brand? What is the goal that my clients want to achieve with this brand? When you write these things down, it will actually guide you in coming up with what you need to do to project the brand in order to achieve that goal. Then also make sure that sorry, another thing that is needed is accessibility.
Okay.
Any strategy that you are coming up with should be must be accessible by the audience, right? It must be communicated
What do
in
you
such
what
a
do you
way
what do you
that,
mean? What do you mean by accessibility? What do you mean it must be accessible? What do you mean
okay,
by
what I
that?
mean by accessibility is it must be communicated to the target audience in a way that they would understand. There is a way there was a time I put up a content about for content writers, right? There are some content you see out there, they're just too technical. You get to read them and you don't even understand what the whole thing is all about. Do you understand? And these are your target audience, right? So it must be accessible. Your content must be accessible. You must take note of that. It is very, very important. The audience must be able to easily assimilate. Okay, so that's what I mean by accessibility. Then your brand's goal, yes, you need to understand what your brand goals are.
Continue.
Sorry, you were saying something?
Yes, we have a question here from Daniel, and he said, "How can a creative content, he meant creative content creator, help a startup business?" I think she's answered that question already, and she's also in the process of answering the question. So please go ahead, and then maybe in the course of your explaining, you can infuse the answer to this question.
Okay. So let me before I go to answering that question, let me just finish up with what I'm explaining. Okay. So like I said,
Yes.
content is content is very, very important when it comes to marketing, or when it comes to projecting a particular brand. Maybe your personal brand, it may be your business, maybe your own personal brand, or you might be doing it for someone. And like I said earlier, that you need to understand what are the brand's goal. Then you need to be sure that, okay, this strategy that I'm coming up with is something that is accessible. People can easily, understand it. People can easily get acquainted with it. Now you must also take note of relevance. Whatever content strategy, whatever strategy you are putting up, it must be relevant. It must be relevant to that particular brand. It must be relevant to your brand's goal. It must communicate your brand's message. Then another thing is understanding your target audience. When you understand your target audience, you know who your audience are. You know what strategy best fits them. You know how to come up with the strategy that works best for your target audience. Yes, so that's it.
Okay. All right. Sunday says, yes, the roadmap, like the customer journey map, the empathy map, the objectives of the brand and business goal. That
Absolutely.
sounds like a contribution to the conversation. All right.
Mhm.
So now you talked about the ability of the content creator to communicate the message to the audience, and he or her ability to make it accessible by the audience, make sure they understand exactly what it is. Now, the next question I gotta ask is, if you're going to implement any strategy whatsoever, what are the factors you're going to for you to say, okay, this is the particular strategy I'm going to implement for this content, for this campaign or something? What determines the strategy to implement? Because truth of the matter is, I have employed the service of some brand influencers, and when I contacted them, the one particular one I remember contacting, she said, two things. Now, she has a way she relates to her audience. She's a storyteller, so she would write long caption and write long stories. Now, if you want her to write a story, put it in her own words, you're going to pay for that. But you also can decide to just give her the products and give her your words, your own caption, and then she just put it like that. The problem is because she has trained her audience a particular way, any other caption or any other type of storytelling that doesn't sound the way she would say it, doesn't ever catch. So so oftentimes people would come to her to for her to influence for them, and some will begin to complain and say, I didn't get return on investment, I didn't get any nobody sent me a D, thing like that. And then she would tell them, but I asked, do you want me to write it for you, or do you want to do it yourself? That's the result you're able to get. So then what determines? But I also do know that there are other people as well that she allows, because I would read it. She would allow them to use their own words, and they wouldn't complain about patronage or no return on investment. So what is the strategy that what is that factor that will determine this content creator would implement when carrying out a campaign?
Okay. So let me answer the question. What determines content strategy, right? So the three major things, actually, three major, there are other minors, right? But three major things. One, the goal of the brand. That's number one. It determines the kind of strategy you're going to use, right? Some brands, they don't want to. So I know some brands that they are not into sales or something. They're just all about
Okay.
educating the public. They don't sell.
Mm.
They don't sell. They're just into educating the public. So that kind of a brand, all they need is awareness, right? They don't necessarily need
Okay.
sales. So you must consider the goal of that brand. One, you must consider your audience. There's no how you want to come up with strategy without your audience in the picture. Your audience would always be in the picture, because at the end of the day, you are creating the content not for yourself, but for them. And that is why that particular influencer that you mentioned would always tell people that reach out to her that they should allow her do it the way her audience understand. And that's why I tell people that reach out to me as well. And thank God they always tell me, okay, just do it your way. We want to get results. Okay, what are the results that you want to get? Okay, then it is achievable. But then communicate to your audience the way they
Okay.
understand. You see, there is one thing about brand voice. Everybody, every one of us that we have our personal brand, we have our brand voice. And the moment you just write in a way that is not unique to your brand voice, people can actually tell. And sometimes you don't want to, even when you want to sell, you don't want to make it look salesy. People want to buy, but they don't want to be sold to. So there is a way you communicate it across. You already understand your audience. You've been grooming them for a long while. So you know what best they understand. So you cannot take your audience out of the picture. Then another thing that you need to
Okay.
focus on is your competitor. This one sounds somehow, but then that's the truth. You need to know, okay, what are they up to? Okay, how can you make it better? Whatever it is that your competitors are doing, how do you make it better? So you need to also
Okay, so
consider
to
that.
get a question right across the competitors. Now, if you focus your attention on your competitors, does that not remove your focus from what you're supposed to be doing and then make you look like you're running after shadows? Because then
Okay.
you'll be after your competitors all the single time.
No, you don't have to be after them and you don't have to focus on them, but you need to study them. It is very, very important that you study them. Now, let's say, for example, I sell, let me use something very, okay, let's say, for example, pen. I sell pen, right? And there is this person very close by, very close to my store who also sell pen. Now, let's say I bought the pen for 100 naira, and normally the market price, right, is normally the amount everybody is selling is maybe 150 naira. Now, it's not like if I still sell it for that 120, I won't still get my gain, right? But then how do you know how much others are selling to make yourself to make your own better when you don't even study them, you don't know what they are up to or anything, right? It's not
Okay.
like you're focusing all the attention on them, right? You're focusing the attention on making your own brand better. But you need to also understand what your competitors are up to so that you beat whatever it is they're up to as well. Yes, so that's it about competitors.
Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, interesting. That's great. Interesting. Okay, so another thing that occurred to me, if you're carrying out a campaign or strategy, a content strategy for a brand, and you've done everything. You've identified the goal, your audience, the brand voice, and all of that. Everything check, but the client or the person still isn't getting the required result or the expected result. What then could be said is the problem?
Okay. First, you would change strategy, right?
Okay.
If there is a particular
Okay.
strategy you've used before, then change strategy and see if it works. And if it still doesn't work, I think you need to check
Mhm.
that brand. You need to check that
Okay.
product that you're talking about. Like check the product. Is there something you can improve on? Is there something that
Mm,
can be changed regarding this product? Is there something we need to work
mm,
on? Then try to get people's feedback. Try
okay.
to get data. Try to get people's feedback to know what exactly is wrong. Then if you've done all that you should do and you're not getting result, definitely something is wrong somewhere. And if it is not the strategy you're using, it might be the product or how you are even marketing the product, how you are projecting the product. So those things need to be checked.
Okay.
And then, please let me quickly say this, that you can't you
Okay.
can't you can't start something today and expect the results to just come bams like that. Of course, it works for some people, but then it won't work like that for everybody. So sometimes you need to actually exercise patience to actually see that okay, the result is going to come. Sometimes we don't have to rush, but then you need to check and see that okay, you've done everything right. If you've done every possible thing right and the result is not still showing, just be patient. Be patient. Allow your audience to know you, like you, and trust you. And with time,
Mm,
you're going to get the required result.
okay. That's great. That's great. Now there are times when you would come in contact with a particular brand or business and you've done everything, check, check, check. Now, by your standards, the campaign, the content you use was successful. But for some reason, the client, even though the client got what they said they wanted, they got the expected result, but they just wouldn't, grade and regard that campaign as successful. Now, this is my question. What is the yardstick to determine that this content that you're putting out or this strategy that you're putting on, this campaign that you're on is successful? What do you use to measure the success of a strategy?
Okay. So to measure the success of a particular strategy that you've used, okay, let me say this, that when a particular brand as they met all their goals, the everything they set out, all these things are met, that means that particular strategy is successful. If these goals are now
Okay.
met and exceeded, that's bonus. But then if you highlighted maybe 5 things and all of these 5 things are met, and even if it doesn't exceed, the strategy is still successful, right? So how do
Okay.
you now know that your strategy is successful? Feedback. That's just it. Feedback.
Okay.
Okay, if I put out a content that my audience can resonate with, it will be very
Mm-hmm.
obvious because they would definitely engage it. They would, it will
Okay.
get the engagement. Do you understand? So
Okay.
that's passing a message across to me that, okay, this particular content that you put out today, your audience can resonate with it. And yeah, I achieved the reason why I put up that content. It might not go viral, but then if it eventually goes viral, that's just a bonus. But then if I see that, okay, a lot of people engage with it, they actually can relate, I've achieved that goal, right? And that strategy is successful. Assuming I use a video content, or maybe I use the poll, or any strategy that I use, and I achieve my goal, it is successful. So how do you now know that your strategy is successful? Feedback. How do you get feedback? Now, diverse ways. Like I said, for example, a content now, you get feedback via the engagement that that post has, right? Then you can use
Okay. Yeah.
data to get feedback. You can use data to get feedback, and you can use polls to get feedback. You can get your feedback in diverse ways, but then how do you know that your strategy is successful? Is through the feedback that you get after implementing that strategy.
Okay. Great. So then how does one develop, and what skill, how do you develop a skill in order to, get like a successful content, develop the skill? Now this is for someone who is new, no followers. In fact, they're just new on social media. Like, what, I want to be a content creator. Now, what skills do they need to develop, to have, in order to implement a content strategy?
Okay. Um, Research skill, very, very important. You cannot come up with strategy without researching. You cannot just do everything from your imagination and just feel like, okay, I think this you have to be sure that it is going to work. And how will you be sure that it will work? Make research. Okay, has anybody done something similar before? How did they go about it? What result do they get? And how can you make your own results top notch? Research skill, very, very important in coming up with a strategy. And yes,
Okay.
yes, research skill, very, very important.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then now, this is before we go on to the questions we got lined up. Give us a practical step by step, for someone who's just starting out as a content creator. Practical step by step. What I like a someone who does not know anything. If like you're explaining to a 2-year old. Practical step, but this is what you do, this, do that, do that, do that, do that, and you have this result. A practical, just 3 minutes, practical step that they need to take.
Okay, let me use myself as an example because, yeah, let me just use myself as an
Okay.
example. Okay, when I joined LinkedIn last year, I didn't know anything. I didn't know I can make money via writing for people. I didn't know anything. I'm just like, I'm a newbie. So let me use myself as an example now. So the first thing I did is first understand the platform that you are using. You cannot be everywhere at the same time. You cannot be
Okay.
on the I mentioned how many the other time. We still have more, right? So you cannot be everywhere at the same time, right? You can build your presence on every of the platform, but you have to be more active on one than the others. Okay, now choose your platform. I chose LinkedIn. After choosing
Okay.
LinkedIn, I reached out to somebody who put me through optimizing my LinkedIn account. That's me understanding that platform. Number two, understand the platform. Now, study the platform for a while.
Okay.
I studied the platform for a while. I was just posting just general content, general life, you know, life related content, motivational content, and all of that. I do not have
Okay.
a niche yet. So
Mhm.
I'm saying this now because so many people are out there too. They don't even understand how to go about it at all. Yeah. So that's how to start. Understand. Choose your platform. Understand that platform. Study that platform. That's number three. After studying the platform, now you now know that okay, I want to be a content creator. Please, you need to learn from someone who has been there before. Get yourself a coach. You
Okay.
can do certifications. You can have, just learn about content creation itself from someone who has been successful at it on that same platform that you want to start out on. I don't know if our audience
Okay.
are getting me. Please let me know if you understand what I'm trying to
Okay.
explain. Let me know in the comments. Now, you need to learn from someone who is already successful at content creation on that particular platform that you are thinking of starting on. So after that, you need to now choose your niche. You need to niche down. Content creation
Okay.
is wide. Content creation is broad. You cannot be everything. You need to now niche down. Okay, this is a particular kind of content that I want to be creating. So you have to niche down. So after niching down, you need to now do some freebies. Yes, because you learn while implementing. Of course, you went through a course and they've told you that okay, this and that, but you need to also implement to learn. And at that particular stage, some people wouldn't want to because you're just starting up, right? They will still kind of doubt if you're actually up to the task. You now need to prove yourself that okay, yes, I am up to this task. So you have to volunteer. Yeah, in essence, that's what I'm saying. You have to volunteer. In the process of you implementing, you learn. So after volunteering and all of that, yes, if you've volunteered for a while, yeah, you can, yeah, you are good to go. So these are the step by step guide to actually becoming great as a content writer on any platform that you've chosen.
Wow, that is amazing. Now, for do you need to necessarily know how to write, or you can just use your own language and create your own style? Do you necessarily need to like know how to write?
Okay. Even if you are creating a video content, you still need to write out something,
Okay.
right?
What I mean is, are there specific writing skills that you need to acquire, or you can just use your own language and make it good?
Okay. If you want to be a content creator, trust me, you need writing skill. You can now how
Okay.
you now communicate it ahead might now be different, but at least you need to you need writing skills. Definitely, you need it. If you are coming up with whatever content, whatever kind of content you are coming up with, a blog post, a video content,
Okay.
anything, you still
That's
need
good.
to know how to write because everything that we do, right, is just all about storytelling. It's all about storytelling. And you need to
Okay.
understand. Okay, then another thing is you need to understand um you really need to learn how to hook your audience. You need to learn how to hook your audience.
Okay.
Like you need to learn that it is very important because you don't want them to read few lines and just go away like that, or watch a few
Mm,
scene of your video content and they just feel like, okay, what's this? You need to understand that okay, you need to um you need to buy into their emotions to get them hooked. Yeah, so that's one thing that you also need.
okay. All right. So let's get into the questions. John Enoja says, "What are the procedure for becoming a content creator? Recently, a friend of mine told me about KDB, that's Kindle, on Amazon, but yet I was not convinced enough." Do you want to respond to that?
Okay, I think I have highlighted procedures for becoming a content creator earlier, but
Yeah.
John, the truth is for you to do anything at all, you need to be convinced yourself. You need to be convinced. There is a way the thing happened from inside, then influence from
Mm-hmm.
outside can now come. But then you need to be convinced from the inside. For example, myself, somebody once told me when I newly joined LinkedIn that I should focus on being a freelancer. Then I had a 9 to 5. But then I told the person that
Okay.
I cannot leave my 9 to 5 because I am not convinced yet, right? But then, excuse
Yeah.
me, it get to a point, nobody told me. I made the decision on my own, and here I am today, right? So just whatever it is your friend has told you, make your research about it, learn more about it, then now decide yourself if you want to go into it or not. Meanwhile, there are still some other things that you can do. If you are not interested in being a content creator, there are still other things that you can do and that will fetch you money. So just take your time, think, make research on
Okay.
your own, and decide whatever you want to do.
Okay. All right. Sunday says, question: how do you relate to the rigid vetting
Okay.
process of creative works by non-creatives? Um, for instance, I once had an issue where a banker thought my pun was a blunder. Every other person in the vetting team could connect with the pun, but she just didn't get it. Okay, you want to
All
respond
right,
to that?
Sunday. Okay. Sunday, let me just tell you this now. Your content is not for everybody. That's just it. Your
Absolutely.
your your message is not for everybody. You are not for everybody. So it's not everybody that you don't. If you want to be for everybody, ah, you will stress yourself a whole lot. But in a room of how many team, let's say five
Hmm.
of them in the vetting team, and only one person did not get it, you are good to go, my dear brother. Yes, your content cannot be for everybody. So, and that is why I was saying earlier that you cannot, your audience, you can't remove them from the equation when preparing your content or your content strategy. Your audience must be considered. So if you have 1,000 followers, and out of the 1,000 followers 800 can resonate, definitely that's still success, right? That's about 80%, so you're still good to go. Try to explain to the person, but then if they still don't get it, I'm sorry, there is nothing you want to do about it. Your content is not just for everybody. You are not for everybody. You can't be for everybody. It's not possible. That's just it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Another question here says, uh, oh, okay. Is the same person Sunday? Same question. Okay. Gloria, Mama Adedoyin, looking beautiful.
Thank
That one
you.
is a compliment to you. Okay, let's see if we have more questions lined up here. Okay, and John, that KDP, why are you not convinced? What's hard about it? What's so difficult about? Why are you not convinced? I'm curious. I mean, if your friend is showing you the way on how to get on Amazon KDP and you're not interested, bro, why? Why though? I'm curious. Why?
So
Did
it's
he?
so
Why? I mean,
funny
it's such a
how,
good opportunity. Why? It's kind of
yes.
funny, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's funny. The truth is, sometimes when you don't know about something, you know, there's this saying that
And
when
they tell you
the
for the
purpose
first
of a
time, it
thing,
looks like that's impossible. It can't happen.
mm-hmm, so when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is
Mm,
inevitable. So when you don't really know much about
true.
something, you don't know the power it actually carries. So when they tell you about it, you just feel like, okay, can it be true? So I think
Mm.
he really needs to research more about it himself, read more
Okay.
about it.
Sunday Agbegun says himself. Mm. Okay. Shout out to everyone who sent in messages, and that's about we can do that's all we have for today. Thank you so much, Oluyemi. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, finally, before you go, okay, I know that you are a content creator on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
Now, what is so different from LinkedIn to other social media platforms? What is so special I did hear someone say that if you want to be a social influencer on Twitter, you're going to have to learn to be a mean person and be a savage. So what is, I don't believe that though. So what is the difference between LinkedIn as the content creator as on LinkedIn as opposed to other social media platforms?
Okay. LinkedIn is a very special place. LinkedIn is not a toxic platform, and you don't see cases of bullies and mean people on LinkedIn.
Okay.
LinkedIn is such a wonderful place that every member of the platform, they're always all about let's grow together. LinkedIn is
Mm-hmm.
such a special place. LinkedIn is actually, well, regarding the content that we put out, is not like there is anything different like that. Because on LinkedIn you also have video content. On other platforms you have video content. On LinkedIn you have carousels, every other type of content that you want to create, you can create. But then I think the platform is just different in a kind of way that it just allow every member of the community grow together. And members of
Okay.
LinkedIn, it's a place that is not a toxic place. And then every time you get to read anything, is going to be something that will actually spur you to grow. So you don't get cases of um a lot of a lot of things are happening on so many other platforms. You don't get such cases here on LinkedIn. So it's free of
Okay.
toxicity, and it is not, it's a same place, really. It's a same place to be.
Okay.
You just grow when you're on
Okay.
LinkedIn. There's no how you want to do it on LinkedIn. You will not grow. You have so many things around that will just spur you to grow. So it's a platform that enhance your growth. That's one special thing about LinkedIn. Yeah.
And Junaid says you are on point about LinkedIn, Adedoyin. All right, that's great.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Adedoyin, thank you so much for coming through. We've had a wonderful session today. It was quite informative and it's been so great. And of course, shout out to everyone who sent in their comments and contributions. And don't forget, you can register on any skill of your choice on sourcing.business. And also, you can upload your gig on to have access to employers and know other people who want to have access to your skill. Rukayat says LinkedIn is a platform that motivates and pushes you to grow. You're right about that.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much once again to everyone who's contributed. We've had a great time. Adedoyin, it's been wonderful talking to you today. Okay, so that's about that. And okay, before we go quickly, this one says, I'm a pharmacist and I love to write on health related matters. Where is the best platform to start and how to use it to increase sales or generate more revenue? Adedoyin, please respond to that before
Okay.
we leave.
Okay. You're a pharmacist and you love to write on health related matters. Where is the best platform to start? Okay, sincerely, let me be frank with you. I tell people this. You can start on any platform of your choice, right? I have friends that are doing so well on Instagram. Trust me, they are doing so well on Instagram. I have friends that are doing so well on Twitter and on YouTube. So you just have to understand what platform do I want to study like just make your research about the platform and just choose one. After choosing one, then learn more about the platform. LinkedIn is a very good place to start. I don't want to be sugarcoating or sweet talking you to start on LinkedIn or something, but then you would never regret starting out on LinkedIn. Trust me. Start on LinkedIn. Prefer solution, be valuable, and increasing sales or generating more revenue will come along. But the focus should be on being a valuable person. Post valuable tips every now and again. Let people know you for being a valuable person. When they know that, okay, this person, if there is any issue when it comes to health or something, is go to his page and you read something. For example, now you write about a particular topic, you are not only projecting yourself as a pharmacist, but you are projecting yourself as a solution provider. You are projecting yourself as a solution provider. And when anything relating to that comes to people's mind, they will quickly reach out to you. Okay, how can you help us in this regard? Because they know that you've been constantly posting about it. So for you to post solutions regarding that, that means you know more. So they will come for the more that you know. So just keep being valuable. Share tips, share things on LinkedIn. And Rukayat Mohammed is saying that you please start on LinkedIn. So please start on LinkedIn. Keep being valuable. The sales and the revenue, everything will come along with it. But don't let the money be the drive. Just be valuable first, and then everything will come in place. Because if you allow the money be the drive, if it doesn't come on time, right? There's no benchmark for this thing. For some, it might come very quickly. For some, it might come late. If the money doesn't come on time, so that you won't get frustrated, right? So please, let's being a valuable let being a valuable person, let it be the major thing first, and every other thing will come along. Trust me, I will not lie to you.
Okay, thank you so Adejoyin Oluyemi. It's been great. Now, no more questions, and that's about that. We can take this week. Upskilling 5 million African freelancers. We'll be back next week, Wednesday. You want to join us, of course. Tell your friends to tell their friends to tell their friends to tell their friends. We'll be back. My name is Oge Mark, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.
My name is Femi Johnson. I'm the CEO and founder of Sourcing Business. Sourcing Business is an online platform where freelancers and employers of labor are able to connect in order to exchange value. The platform gives freelancers opportunity to be able to create their gigs, showcasing what they can offer to organizations, the solutions they can provide, and especially services they can offer, virtually. Startups are actually looking for skilled professionals like these who are able to help them deliver their job, cheaper, who are able to help them deliver their job faster, and who are able to help them deliver their job with better quality. And these are the capabilities that you found in Freelancers. And so Sourcing Business provide a platform where such people are able to offer their gigs so that startups and small business owners around the world can be able to access them to be able to buy their services. On Sourcing Business,